Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. We've had a lot of things happening. The portal that we're in right now, the 3 to 7 portal, we already had stuff happening between the first and the third, and then just amped up from there. We were having all these solar flares, some really amazing solar flares, large solar flares hitting us, causing a lot of the stuff, as well as, the first of 4 months in a row worth of supermoons. So this full moon that we had was a supermoon and just a lot of stuff. So let's talk about the symptoms that we're having. Increased headaches. I found that when this headache occurs, like it feels like it's like here, though here and on other occasions, and almost always in accompaniment with that, I'm noticing that my upper gums just feel swollen and like really uncomfortable, and I just need to lay down. We're already having a lot of this fatigue and just exhaustion. There's two different things. Fatigue and exhaustion are separate. We're having both of those happening, as well as the strange thing is even though we're so tired, when it comes to be bedtime, we just have no drive or desire or for something to sleep because whatever reason. So we're up late. And then also we're having increased experience in the sleep space. So we're actually having more increased and intensified astral experiences in the sleep place rather than the dreams that we're accustomed to having. There's a lot of activations and codes that come from that happen whether or not you recall. So just to let you know. The ear ringing, of course, it's been kind of ringing off the hook lately. Higher and a more variety of frequency at the same time, more like a song. Usually when that's happening too, all of the headache and the gum stuff, as well as the ear ringing, we're having heart palpitations simultaneously, and we're also having like the sinus kind of. It's just like it's pressure. There's a better way to say it. I just can't think of the word. It's just this. And we're releasing when this is happening. I know that this sinus motion, as we are moving this stuff through and that buildup, there's a releasing occurring. Like people are all of a sudden like, do I have allergies? Is it pollen? Like what's happening to me? This is happening to a lot of people. And so this sinus related stuff is also, I think that's like part of why we're having the behind the eye kind of unpleasant stuff that's happening. It's kind of like a headache, I guess. The back of the head. So like right in the back of my head, just go to the very, where your head kind of meets your neck, that little lump of body of your head before that, that area right there. It's like a bullseye of this energy that we're all going through right now. This part of the head, something's happening. I'm noticing just in a circle right in that spot, I'm sweating profusely, but the rest of my body's fine. Like I'm not typically hot when I'm experiencing it too. It's just this spot, as well as pressure there. I'm noticing that when I'm having the sweating stuff, that there's no pressure, there's no headache. This stuff has all been happening the past couple of days, so this is just right now kind of window with that part of the head. I know below it, just right where your head meets your neck, there's a little dimple spot, that crux of your neck. That's like the soul chakra. There's another word for it, but that's what I've called it because that's where your body meets your soul. A lot of us are noticing that the need to purge some ways through this area of our body too. So you're noticing you could call it boil if it was, but it's not. And you could also call it acne if it was, but it's really not. There's some type of pustule feeling, seeming thing there. There's some type of release occurring. This also has to do with full body kind of stuff. Are different areas of your body that we're having these weird like bumps, and like you can tell a purging's happening, as well as the sweat on the body. So we're not talking about the back of the head anymore, but just on your body. It feels like it's not quite sweat, though you would call it that because it's leaving your body in the same way it's carrying toxins out. It's a purge. We're having the grand purge right now. So that's what most of these symptoms are. Solar flares help us to assist us in this purging. And it's not surprising that this is happening while the Sirian sun is amplifying the experience coming from our sun. So each solar flare that we're getting is measured by a certain science degree, and then add the amplification of the Sirian sun that's amplifying the stuff, so by times 10. Relating to the skin, we're having like other kinds of things like rashes. Noticing our body needs more oil. So like, you know, whatever you got, the way I do it is pretty much any oil you got on hand, as long as you can avoid vegetable oil or canola oil, to put that on the skin, you know, will help you. There's a whole class of what's better for you, though. You know, use what you got. That does help to help the skin stuff. And remembering that we're also purging in this way, so we're going to have a lot of weird like sores or weird things on our skin for a little bit as this stuff comes out of our body, you know. And so on top of that, talking about skin having this what's the word? It's like electricity, like that's a way that's being described. Of just feeling like you have electricity all over your body. It's kind of like a tingling. It feels like nerves moving through, but it's like very calming. It's very lovely experience. I'm having more third eye related stuff when it comes to this particular symptom, though I've had people report whole body in a frequent way. I have that as well, though right now it's focusing on the third eye. And so it's like you can also follow the view of the electricity as it moves through into the becoming a synapses in your brain in some way. It's just bizarre and awesome. It's very calming and beautiful. Another thing that a lot of people are having too is stuff to do with this part of your neck. So just the beginning, the middle of your clavicle. So the shoulder blade. No, it's not called the shoulder blade. It's called what do you call it? Anyway, the clavicle. That's gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna want to know what that's called. So this place right here, this is your higher heart. So congratulations. You're noticing some symptoms here. You're having an activation in this chakra. This chakra has always been there. You have a lot of chakras in your body. The primary 7, or we talk about the most, that there's a whole gamut of chakras that you have in your body, and systems beneath the chakras of systems of chakras. It's just amazing. And this particular one is where you speak with truth and of love. They're the same thing. When you speak your truth, this becomes more and more available. And when you speak your truth, you're able to access that higher heart it's a different kind of love. It's really beautiful. So this kind of feeling like there's something there, almost feeling like maybe there's something at the top of your lungs and some sensations of it. It's just, that's the area opening up. And a lot of times we'll notice these sensations at the same time as there's like heart palpitations happening, which can be alarming. And if you have any reason at all to feel the need to go see a medical professional, please do so. You know, this is my experience, and I tend to find that every time that I go to see the doctor, they think that I'm just making stuff up because I'm healthy and there's nothing wrong with me. So please use your own discernment. That's also what this area is. This is where your discernment comes from. So discernment's the ability to figure out the difference between BS and truth, and you are one of the best lie detectors in the universe. So congratulations. That's why you can smell BS in any room that you go in. Allowing yourself to use this when you watch my videos and anybody else's content allows you to see what's true and what's useful, what resonates with you. And then you can take that and just leave the rest. You know, the things that are being said that don't like jive with what you feel is true for you, is that's your body saying, yeah, so that for you, this part's not correct. However, this is, and that's activating more. So it's pretty cool. A lot of other stuff that has to do with the throat chakra area before I move on is to the sensation in the mouth. Like, I feel like that it's weird. I've been feeling like water's causing me to feel dehydrated. That's not what's happening. This incredible thirst that we're having is needing something else, like a certain type of juice or tea. And so I've been finding myself drinking those types of liquids more than I did before. Using color therapy, noticing some of the chakras that are being affected right now helps. So for me, there's been some solar plexus stuff. The yellow chakra that's above your navel. This area is an area that a lot of us are having symptoms with, as well as the sacral chakra, the orange one that's below that. And then below that, the root chakra, the ruby red color. And so allowing yourself to bring certain colors into your life that in this area is being an issue for you assists, as well as what we consume. You know, just bringing those colors into your life really, actually, truly does help. You know, something to note is that notice how you start to feel so much more healed and heart-centered when things start to grow in the green spring that it is, right? That's your heart chakra. That's also healing. And so having those colors, the green, helps you to access that area of your body more. And so we do the same thing with other things. Keeping that in mind, we're going to go back to these lower three chakras that are being affected by. So many people are having this thing happen with these lower three chakras. You're working on your throat chakra probably. Most of us have some barriers there just because we spent so many lifetimes, and as well as this one, having some type of persecution or a undesirable result of speaking your truth and being your true authentic self. So we have this throat chakra stuff that we're working on. However, most of us don't want to focus on the lower three chakras, and that's not something that's like, oh, that sounds like a fun time today. So they're neglected and they're unevolved in some way. And so we just need to focus on them a little bit. You know, in this area, we're having a lot of stuff like, it feels like you're constipated, but you have what could be considered IBS-like symptoms. You know, it's this weird, you know, and feeling like pregnancy symptoms for those of you who relate to that, as well as like just this stuck energy kind of stuff. So this is all like the sacral, which is orange, which is, you know, so it's all the orange sacral chakra and the ruby red root chakra. So that's the sexual energy that a lot of people are having, like reinvigoration and sexuality and sexual drive. This is the desire to let this energy move through and out. And so if you're not finding that you're more sexually inclined, then there's other ways to allow that energy to move through. But just knowing that's what's happening, and we're having an activation here. Also noticing just like, if it's almost comical where you kind of feel like, I don't know, like there's babies in there just kind of moving around. The way that that area of our body's behaving right now is just uncommon. And so a lot of us are relating and relaying this information through feeling all of a sudden moments of anger, rage, irritation, irritability, frustration, and those types of irritable kind of stuff that's coming up and boiling up to be looked at, you know. Some of us have also been reporting that the liver, the area of the liver as well as the gallbladder, coming into like discomfort place. While this is uncomfortable, this is telling us something. You know, organs in our body are all related to a specific emotion, and areas of your body as well. So you could look that up, going to a search engine on the internet and looking up what emotion is related to the liver, and you'll find anger. And so as this stuff is coming up, it just needs to be experienced. It doesn't need to be held onto. And what I mean by that is letting it come up and just release. While we're allowing this to occur and we're just letting it come up, we're not like investing in the anger. You know, like that's the biggest message that I've been getting lately is uninvest. We've all been cutting cords. We're like, okay, you know, like slice of Rama over here. However, we're not uninvesting. And so we're reestablishing these cords left and right. And so it's like what they're saying is uninvest, meaning no one can make anyone be anything or feel any way. We hear this a lot. We've been hearing it forever, right? But it's fully true. When we realize that someone being angry at us has nothing to do with us, and then therefore the response that they may have has nothing to do with you. And then you can remain in this peaceful observer space. Be available how you'd like or to not be available how you'd like. And when we pull those cords in that way and are fully uninvested, we're no longer expecting the continued energy exchange. And while that energy exchange may be something we enjoy before it being hurled at us as a victim or something, now we can choose. We can choose this energy. And so most of the people that have been experiencing this, maybe not knowing exactly what's happening, are being made to feel like all of a sudden they've been cut off from spirit. They're suddenly not having this energy connection that they had before, the profound, deep connection to the energies around them and the people that they interact with, as well as feeling isolated and alone as a result of this sudden, eerie silence. This eerie silence was channeled through by Archangel Michael like a few while ago, saying that this was going to happen. This was the eerie silence part. Eerie silence is the part right before the peace, okay? So we're in a really good place. We are here. And here comes the 7-7 portal on top of the 3-7. So we're having this, and then we're also feeling already the Lionsgate portal, which is on August 8th. And so we're having a lot more of this type of stuff and allowing it to come through and out and to guide it through and out. As you're experiencing these things, noticing that you are truly, simply a member in an audience, witnessing as it does, that it's really not happening to us. And when we do that, it stops. Like the way that it affects us and it interacts with us in this way stops. And we're able to then start to glide more into this peace, into this new love, this new place where calamity doesn't exist. For you are truly on new earth. I know this is hard to believe. This part is the seeing as believing part of our whole paradigm that we exist within. However, when you're able to pull away in this way and to eliminate the calamity exchange that's been occurring in these chords, then you're able to see that you are truly already in a place of peace. Some of us are feeling these things kind of roaring up louder, and so it's hard to believe that it's happening in this way. This stuff that's coming up doesn't want your attention. It wants to go. The attention only given for a moment to acknowledge that it's really there, that it was real, that it happened. And after we've done that, then it can go. So the message is to acknowledge it without judgment and to release it. Because judging it is to hold it in place and to stop its motion forward and out, which is exactly what you want, what we want, for it to go. And as we do, a lot of us are noticing these experiences of depression, this sense of anxiety coming in stronger. And this is repressing this anger that we're trying to not hurl at people. So when this comes up, remembering that you're letting it move through and past. Often what I'll do is I'll project the anger into the sky. I'll pretend that I'm screaming, though I'm not using my voice, and just use that, send the energy out into the sky. And when I do that, it's immediately followed by this sense of calm, of peace, of this awesome, awesome sensation, this euphoria that follows the release of this anger. In other ways, we can find the release happening in tears. Many of us are crying quite a lot more these days than we ever did. Allowing those to be released and to guide that stuff out through your tears is really, truly a service to all. This is your superpower, and for you to allow yourself to do this is really cool. Another way that this is done can be through laughter, though I find that the tears is more profound. If you are unable to provoke the tears, allow the tears to flow, perhaps try a comedy, something that will make you laugh and enjoy. And lastly, whatever it is that means play to you, to allow yourself to engage in that, to be in this place of joy. I do feel the suggestion, and it's very heavily placed as the word suggestion, to know that whatever it is that's happening in your life, you do not have to follow this. However, the suggestion is to not engage in unnecessary social events at this time, just for the next couple of days, if it's possible. And unnecessary meaning, I'm not going to go to the fair today. And that's allowing me to be able to ground this energy as it comes in, to metabolize is the word they're using, to metabolize this energy as it's coming in. And it's meant fully to serve us, to help us, and to guide us into this further evolution of our body, mind, and spirit simultaneously, into a higher frequency, a new awareness, and to find the energy that you stand upon, you've been standing upon for quite some time, just unable to see it, to see the love, and to see the peace. We're here doing this together, and I encourage you to please continue. Don't give up. We got this. We're in this awesome, awesome place, and it's just going to get better. Allow it to move through as the filter that you are, the grand transmutator, and allow it to move out. For you are the conduit of this energy in guiding this out into the frequencies of light that can then assisted into its own next frequency space. I love you. Thank you for your service. Aho blessings.